What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about if Marvel's Avengers will cancel their DLC roster. So we've talked about this before. I want to go over some of the newer information, but ultimately discuss if characters like even Spider-Man. Now, I don't think necessarily, but he's obviously the biggest one, I think, in everybody's minds. But more or less, the people that we think are coming in the future, if they would pull the plug on that, I think the answer actually is a pretty sad yes. But before we do, if you guys do like these videos, make sure you guys are subscribed, have the bell icon turned on, and also if you guys aren't supporting me in the other social media areas that I'm in, please do. All of that's in the description below. My Twitter, my Discord, and my second channel. If you guys would support, follow any of those things, join those, that would be very much appreciated. So, there is a little bit of newer information here. Yesterday, some earnings reports, I believe, came out on Square Enix, and they lost a boatload of money. I think the official, or I guess the non-official, but like close to official numbers are the game, Marvel's Avengers, cost over $100 million for them to produce, so make, market, all that stuff. And the game may have actually sold around 3-ish million units. Now, that's what I saw. I feel like that number is kind of low. I always felt like maybe it was in the 5 to 7 million range, but you can bet that they were expecting this game to do much better. I feel like they probably wanted this game to do in the 10 to 12, maybe 13, somewhere in that range. That's where I think they expected this game to do. I think it probably did around half or not even half of that, which is very, very bad. And we're still seeing people not playing this game. We are seeing them pretty much doing everything humanly possible to keep people in the game, which is good. I mean, you need to do that. But at this point, people, I think, have forgotten about it. People, I think, have moved on it. And all I've always said, is that the way you get people back, the way you get me back, I am more than willing to jump back into this game. I'm more than willing to reinstall this game. All that's because I got rid of it because there's too much. It takes up too much space, and there's so many other games that have come out that I just had to pick some games. I'm more than willing to bring this game back under the right circumstances, and those circumstances are the DLC characters. At this point, it would be a hassle to bring it back for just like Kate Bishop, even Hawkeye, but those are a good start. But the question I have is, okay, you have a fan base that is pretty much gone. You have a game that, for all, from everything that we've seen, has failed. Has been a critical failure, even from like people that have played this game, not too many people are happy. I don't know. I get that there's people in my audience that really like this game, and that's totally cool. And you obviously can have whatever opinion you want to have. I'm not telling you how to think or that you need to hate this game, but I'm just saying, even if you look at the internet in general, I think there's a lot more people against this game than like it. And then you look at people in the world, and maybe you can't gauge, who exactly hates this game, who exactly loves it, but you can gauge who's playing it. And the answer is an insanely small percentage of the people that bought it, which generally means, especially for a game like this that you're supposed to play over and over a long period of time, means that they don't like it. That's just my opinion. That's just, in my opinion, it's my reasoning that I think works, but that's just how I see it. So the thing is, well, how far do they let this go? So this is the issue. This is what I was warning people about, and this is what I was talking about for a long time, because we have a game that, they've said they want to support this game for years, right? A lot of people have jumped to the 2-year mark. Well, remember, when this game first came out, there was a report that studio, the studio that's making this game, that most of their people have moved on to another AAA game. Now, I tweeted out that report, and I said that scares the living heck out of me. And a lot of people said, well, why? And the reason is, well, I never expected the full team to work on this game nonstop, right? But you have to have some team working on this because you'd ideally like new missions, you would like new locations, you would like new characters, and those take time. And remember, we saw the leaked data mine of the 16 characters counting Spider-Man. We saw that, and there's a lot of great characters in there. There's a lot of characters I would love to see. And what I said is, that if we get all of them, that's incredible, that's amazing. I'd be super happy with that. At this point, it is, I would say, the closest to like a Star Wars Battlefront 2 situation than we could ever get, and not in a lot of ways, but the one specific way is, again, the example I always use is, remember, there were audio lines that people found, again, data mined from Battlefront 2, that showed that Ahsoka, Ventress, Padme, all these characters could have been in the game, that they were at least thought, and we even know from people that were working on the game that, yeah, they were thinking about it. It was an option, but you can only do so much, and eventually you run out of time, or you run out of resources, or the game just ends, and you can't get them. Remember the Grievous lines of talking to Ahsoka, or talking to Padme, and stuff like that. So that I loved hearing that. I love the idea that at least they were so if there's a Battlefront 3, you would imagine they would be in it, but we were so close to Ahsoka, and so close to Padme, and we probably could have gotten like a Mace Windu, or a Jango Fett, lots of different things. We didn't. That is, I guess, the disappointing part, but we were close. I see that here. I really see that here. There is zero. I will say this. In fact, I think this is the first time I've declared this, right? There is a 0% chance we are getting all of those characters. There is no way on this earth that we're going to get 16 DLC characters for this game. Firstly, in 2 years. And secondly, just in general, because you have a game that's dead. You have a game that's got, let's just say, 1% to maybe even be nice to them, right? Very, very little percentage of the people that bought it day one that are still playing it now. Very small percentage. And so why? Why would you have all of these characters? Now, I want Scarlet Witch. I would love a Doctor Strange. These are things that I've said, the people that would want the most probably would be Spider-Man and then Scarlet Witch. I would really, really love to have these two characters. But at this point, again, I'm not saying that they're going to cancel Spider-Man. What I will say, and what I have said actually for several months, that I do think is probably true, Sony must be kicking themselves in the face. They must be going in their office and literally just, punching people in the face right now that made this deal. Or, really just questioning why they did it. Because right now you have, okay, the game is going to have Spider-Man being exclusive for PlayStation, right? And they must have paid a lot of money for that. You have to imagine. Now, I don't know how many millions of dollars, but it's millions and millions and millions of dollars to be able to do this, okay? And you have a game that could honestly right now be played by so there were 1,000. Sometimes it actually dipped below 1,000 on PC. We don't know how those numbers work for PlayStation. You would assume there's more. Let's say 5. Let's say 5,000 just to be nice to them. Maybe it's 10. Maybe it's 2. Maybe it's 3,000. Right? But let's say 5. Right? Well, by the time these characters come out, there's going to be even less. We know that. See, Kate Bishop and Hawkeye, they will reinvigorate it a little bit. They will get people to play a little bit more. You will see peaks. You will see, by peaks, I mean it'll just go up a little bit, right? But you will see people come back, but then they will leave. And the thing is, they'll probably leave even more. And unless they do something revolutionary with this game, which is just flat out not the plan. So you got to imagine, okay, so Sony's paying all this money to get Spider-Man to come out, and 1%, let's say, of people that bought this game are going to be able to play as Spider-Man because they're just not going to play it. That's just it's a disaster, and it's something that I think you kind of follow through for all of this time. There's just no way that we're going to get all of those characters. We'll get Kate Bishop because promise. We'll get Hawkeye because that was promise. We'll get Black Panther. War Machine was very heavily leaked. You got to imagine that's the order. It's Kate Bishop, Hawkeye, War Machine, and then Black Panther. You got to imagine that's that, and then you'll probably get Spider-Man right after, and then maybe that's when we would get the Scarlet Witch and the Doctor Strange and stuff like that. But if we break it up into seasons where maybe we get 4 characters per season, I don't see this getting past season 2. I see these first 4 because they're right in front of us. You got to imagine they have already probably made a lot of them, right? Kate Bishop and Hawkeye are probably very, very close to being done. Black Panther again and War Machine have been teased a lot and leaked a lot, so we know they're getting close. Spider-Man, obviously, contractually, they have to, whether or not they want to or not, they have to. And then after that, it's up for grabs. Do you really think they're going to do another 10-plus characters after that when we're in March, April, May? Nobody's playing this game. We're now into next-gen territory. We're getting Gotham Knights. We're going to get close to Hogwarts Legacy. We're getting PlayStation exclusives. We're getting closer to Halo and all this Xbox stuff. You think people are going to remember Marvel's Avengers? It's just not going to happen. So it's a sad, sad thing. I do think, they'll never outright say that they canceled DLC characters because I think ultimately they kind of set themselves up in a good spot where it was data mined. None of it was confirmed. Firstly, none of it was confirmed. And secondly, they never said, Square Enix, Marvel's Avengers, they never said that they were going to actually do it, right? That these were all promised to us. They only promised us really 4 characters and then Spider-Man. And we don't even know, I guess because Black Panther has been teased, we know 3 of the 4. We still need the 4th, which will probably be War Machine, and then Spider-Man. That's it. That's what that's promised to us, nothing else. And it could ultimately end up being where that's it, because we already know the team has moved on, so there's a very small ghost team left that's making this. And again, I don't blame them because this lost them so much money. Why continue to just bleed and have all these resources go into this game when they're not going to get any money out of it, right? So dark times ahead for Marvel's Avengers is pretty much what I'm saying. Let me know in the comments below, guys. What do you think? Do you think we'll end up getting all 16? Do you think we'll get very, very few of them? Let me know. Again, as always, make sure you guys are subscribed to this channel. Hit the bell icon so you guys know when all these videos go up. Like I said, all my other social media stuff, my Twitter, my Discord, and my second channel are all in the description below. If you guys want to support me there, it would be much appreciated. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to see you all on the next video.